Hi, I'm Nik Farah and I'm a media journalist in Barnsley. So we're just here on the outskirts of the town now and we are just going to see Dave Cherry, a man who, in my opinion, is a bit of a legend in his own lifetime. Now, you've probably heard Dave sing, probably heard his songs, you've probably seen his films. So I'm going to go and ask the man himself a few things that I think you'd like to know. Let's go meet him.
At Stairfoot Rarndabart. I'd like to get me hands on that.
Very good.
Wonderful, wonderful.
I
Yeah.
hope you're ready. I've got so many questions for you.
Oh,
Shall we go have a chat?
yeah.
Right, here I am with the man himself, Dave Cherry. I have wanted to meet you for ages. So come on, Dave, let's start with a bit about your early life.
Early life. What? When I was born?
Yep.
Well, I was born in a council house in Woodbury Bridge on the outskirts of Barnsley. You know, working class and just ordinary lad. You know, went to school and that round here, but that was it. I was nothing. You know, nobody. Just average, ordinary working class lad. You know.
A regular Barnsley man.
Oh yes, Barnsley born. You know what they say? Barnsley born, Barnsley bred. Strong at arm and thick at head. No, I shouldn't say that. Carry on. Yeah.
And of course, back in the 60s, you were working in the coal mines.
Yeah.
But you had two jobs.
Yeah, right. I was like, if you like, running in tandem. I worked in the mines as an electrician, but at the night I played in groups, in bands, you know. So I had two lives, if you like, you know, running in tandem. Yeah, one in the daytime and one at night, you know. So yeah.
You see, how tiring is that? Because you've got your early starts with the pit and then you've got your late nights in the clubs.
Oh yeah, I don't know how I did it, love. I mean, I remember being a young lad, catching the 5:20 bus up to the pit, Barrett Pit, and I don't know how I did it because it could be, you know, the early gigs, bookings we would call them, you know, 1 o'clock, all the early hours when you got home. I mean, in those days, them days, were 10:30 finish, you know, but yeah, played in a few groups and that, so two diametrically opposite lives, if you like, you know, yeah. Oh, yeah.
So where in all that did Stairfoot Rarndabart come from?
Well, a mate of mine, a lad called Jimmy Amer, he's got a studio, music studio, and I was doing this job for him. I'm an electrician by trade, and he wanted this fitted kitchen putting in. And I was working in his house, and he came in. He said, "I'm sorry, Dave, I'm late. I've been waiting on him. I wanted an hand to pull this cable down this cavity." He says, "But I'm being stuck at Roundabout." He says, and this is what he said, "Danos, this is what he said, I'd like to get my hands upon that fart who thought up that Stairfoot Rarndabart." And I stopped, I said to him, "Jimmy, that'll make a good song, that. I'd like to get my hands upon the fart who thought up the Stairfoot Rarndabart." So, right, in corner on his house, he had this guitar, this old battered guitar. So I just went like this. I was just playing about with these chords, and I got to this lovely chord, this is it. That chord there, that's an E minor 7. So it's called a riff. You know, any song's got to have a riff. So the riff, well, this is what it is. That's the riff, the 4-chord riff. So the riff, it goes, "I'd like to get me hands upon the fart who thought up the Stairfoot Rarndabart." So the song was instantly written. You know, I'd like. So even if you say it without any music, I'd like to get this. So funny, isn't it? Because in the endemic working class Barnsley dialect, Rarndabart, what posh people say roundabout rhymes with fart. So it works. Always. That's never ever you. So the song was nearly written. I left it. I went away to Scarborough. On holiday. And he got me on phone, Jimmy. He says, Dave, I've had to make 60 more. I says, what? He says, my sister Hilda took it down into the local pub called the Black Bull. And the DJ there, he were playing this song of mine. And everybody was saying, what is that? So what happened then, the taxi drivers in Barnsley, they all got hold of it. It was like, if you like it, like a cult song, like a, you know. So what I wanted then was an outlet. So I just couldn't think. Anyhow, I went up to the Barnsley Hospice and I asked them if they wanted it. The managers looked at me, God hard, you know. So that's what happened. I took it to the hospice and it just went viral. You know, it wasn't, all this social media then were just starting. So everybody wanted this Stairfoot Rarndabart, and it did very, 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 very well, you know.
Well, you made a music video.
Yeah, after that, a DVD on it, it went that popular. You know, it made some money on it. It made a lot of money. 24 and a half grand. You know, that's what it made, the initial Stairfoot Rarndabart CD and DVD. I think it was, get me right, August, September 2004, and by Christmas it had made 24 and a half grand. You know, that's some money. You know, I couldn't, never in my wildest dreams. You know, I went on Look North and I went on Calendar thing and, you know, and Radio Sheffield and yeah.
And of course, I mean, it doesn't stop there. So, you know, once you got into that frame of mind,
yeah,
the old club trip, of course.
Well, that's what happened then. You know, what's next song, Dave? What's next? And of all places, Lombard. That's where it started, Lombard. Driving through Lombard. The rain's belting down in Lombard, you know. Bumper to bumper. Wipers going chucking it down with rain. And I started tapping 3, 4, 1, 2. And I don't know why, but I got thinking about the club trips we used to go on as kids. And I always listened to little lasses when we were kids playing upscotch and skipping. And they used to make nursery rhymes up. You know, they wouldn't just have one song, they'd have about 3 or 4, you know. And I thought, you know, and it came also, I diddle diddle, and it came all of a sudden, I diddle diddle and the big blow ship. We all sang together on the old club trip. So, I diddle diddle, which then became When I Were a Nip. I diddle diddle, when I were a nip, we all sang together on the old club trip. So, I got that, and then I went home with guitar and I got this riff, this thing here. So it became I diddle diddle when I were a nip, all sang together on the old club trip. I diddle diddle when I were a nip, all sang together. And so that were it, the song, the verse was here, the voice. So what you want then, you're coming back to this chorus. You onto the chorus, and so that became this. Again, 3 chords. It's the club trip were always on a Sunday. Saturday night, it's scrub. All got bathed in an old tin tub. I thought, what a lovely. Saturday night, it's scrub. That chord. All got bathed in an old tin tub. Saturday night, scrub. All got bathed in an old tin tub. I thought, that works, that. So it became, and then it came this funny thing. Our last tin, it made me eyes weep. I could never understand how it got that deep. Well, it's telling you stuff, you know, our last in. So, that became the first verse again.
Setting neat, it's scrub, scrub, scrub. We all got back in an old tin tub. Our last in, and it made me eyes weep. I could never understand how it got that deep. Remember.
So that did well, and then I decided to write a play about this club trip, you know, and that took 2 years to. I thought, well, if I can formalise these characters together.
How much did it raise for the hospice?
The play itself, 23.5 grand to play. 23.5. You were on 3 years, and you know all the box office things. 23.5 grand.
Well, anyone who saw that play will say there's no doubt that one of the absolute highlights is the Barnsley Lass song.
Yeah, Barnsley Lass. Yeah, and again, that I wrote that in 10 minutes. A song short, and one of the characters, she played the part of Florrie Pratt, typical Barnsley woman. Florrie Pratt, who was the wife of Jonathan Pratt. And they called her Pippa Slater, this girl, this actress. And she had a lovely, like a folksy voice, if you like. And I says, she was stood at the side of me. I said, Pippa, just see if you can get this. And I'll see if I can't sing it like her, but that's this. So it's just them two chords in the riff, and it's, I am a Barnsley lass than ours. I can't speak la-di-da. You know, and it was just that.
I learned how to cook and clean and sew, and I study and that. I liked an hopscotch with my friends and never travelled far. I am a Barnsley lass, you know, and I study and that.
Is it your favourite?
No, I wrote another one called Rainbow Story, looking at the end of my rainbow story, which is this. So this is these what are lovely melodic G major 7, D major 7, you know, all these lovely beautiful chords what playing together, you know, the guitar, the piano is doing the work, and again it worked, you know, and I put a middle 8 in that one for a change, so yeah, I'm quite proud of that.
Looking at the end of my rainbow story, all the colors I am blue, reaching for a love in my rainbow story, all my dreams have all come true, found the love my heart's been waiting, I won't ever let him go. It's getting near the end of my rainbow story, it's the start of something new.
So yeah.
Well, what I love about you is that you are the very definition of jack of all trades. I mean, you have been a miner, a musician, a playwright. At what point did you add social historian to that?
Well, jack of all trades, master of none. Well, what happened, Nick? In the coal mines, I went to Sheffield University with the union, you know, sponsored course, and I got interested in. I mean, I'd done history at school. I got interested in history. You know, kings, queens, battles from, if you like, an establishment right-wing view. But I learned how to look at it from the people, the ordinary people, the labouring classes, let's call it, the working classes. And I learned how to, you know, I studied that in depth, you know, movement of people, how we speak, the endemic working class dialects of the land, you know, and that's how I got interested in it. I got very interested. Look, you've got to look at history from another view, not necessarily from a political side, but from another angle, if you like. You know, why are we here? Demographic movement of people. You know, where did our mothers come from? And I got into that. That's how I got into that lot. You know, and
it's quite amazing the grasp that you have on the local dialects and linguistics. I mean, today I'd only been in the door 5 minutes, and you were able to pinpoint exactly what part of Barnsley I'm from.
Oh yeah,
it's amazing.
Well, it's a dead giveaway, Nick. You're from Royston, you know, with his coats and boots, and you know, Royston were 1890s Staffordshire miners, and they brought certain words into the dialect. A ball, when you know the kids are playing with a ball, the ball boss, but we said bust. So we said beans on toast in Barnsley. Well, yours beans on toast. You know, this Staffordshire side comes in. Interesting point. The miners came to Ireland as well, but they didn't settle. You know, the dialect became Barnsley there, whereas Royston, it's trapped between Rail and, let's say, Carlton. Carlton and Rail are exactly like the rest of Barnsley, this 5 mile radius, whereas Royston is still trapped into this 1890s. You know, it's wonderful. You've got to study it.
So another really big part of your life, anybody that's on social media will have caught your films. That you've got so many films that you've been producing. And of course it all began with the copying of the old cine films. I mean, how did that start for you?
Yeah, well, in the 60s, I bought a cine camera. You know, I managed to afford a cine camera. When we got married, me and Sandra, in 67, they all thought I was mental. I bought a cine camera. But, you know, nobody had a cine camera, only the rich and privileged. I mean, I wasn't rich and privileged, but I learned years how to transfer, how to copy that, a projector into the computer. Very, very difficult to do. I'll be all day telling you how to do it. And I found it fascinating, you know, studying these old films and, you know, I mean, for instance, now I've got these things on YouTube about these long lost mines, you know, again, it's very difficult to go back in time and find out where they are, you know, and, but quite correct. I mean, one of the films the other day, this part 2 of the Hidden Coal Mines of Barnsley, 3,000, get this right, 3,000 views in 2 days. You know, that's mental, isn't it? I don't think the BBC gets that.
You do have a really impressive social media following. I mean, I suppose that's through the music, through the films. Yeah. Have you always been good with technology?
I like to keep in front on it, Nick. I'm not that good. I'm good in my own forte, my own domain. I'm all right in my own thing, you know. I'm still a Windows 7 man, you know. I'm a bit. Once I learn something, I'm a creature of habit. Yeah, I'm not that good, you know. And what I challenge is my own voice. I hate to me. I'm like everybody else. I hate my own voice, you know. Yeah. I suppose everybody else does and all.
That surprises me though, because you must hear your own voice quite a bit.
I know, and you learn. I think, is that me? You know, and when you hear yourself singing, oh my God, you know, I think, is that me? You know, and it.
And of course, another great string to your bow, which we haven't even mentioned yet, is the writing. So obviously your book, The Woodhead Diaries, I mean, I'd love to know what inspired you to write that. And of course, can people still buy it?
Oh, yeah, The Woodhead Diaries. I wrote this a couple of years ago. Again, it took 2 years, it all takes 2 years. 2 years to write that thing. But what intrigued me about this, Woodhead, it's a railway tunnel between Sheffield and Manchester, just other side of Penistone there. And what intrigued me, I read it, the tunnel was 3 miles long, and it was the longest in Western Europe, and hundreds, perhaps thousands, Irish navvies got killed making it. And, you know, I thought, thousands of navvies, you know, and it intrigued me, again, it's all lost in history. These Irish Catholic navvies, if you like, buried in Protestant churchyards. Just, well, I'm saying buried, just thrown into a pit. All that were in 1838. You know, and I thought, how cruel. And that what started me off, you know.
But isn't it great that you've got so many things you clearly enjoy so much?
Yeah.
To keep you busy, but of course with so many strings to your bow, the writing, the music, the history. Is there a favourite in all there?
I like to interest people. I like to, these subjects, what we're talking about, you know, these old cine films and all this archive social history. I know people find it fascinating, you know, and it's wonderful. I wish I got a bit of speaking voice. That's the thing.
And yet the speaking voice is a big part of the charm.
Oh yeah.
Well, most recently, of course, we were all very lucky to see you on BBC's Our Dancing Town.
Yeah.
Which was fantastic for Barnsley. And of course, the reaction has just been brilliant. Does it seem really strange to you now that people are recognising you? Or after all these years, are you quite used to it?
Yeah, well, the film crew were here 9 weeks, you know, the actual BBC film crew. And when they first came, I says, listen, I do hope you're not going to show me as this northern man with flat cap and, you know, the ferret down the trousers, and because I'm sorry, I'm not going to do it. But I was quite surprised. For once, they showed us in a good light, you know, and I'm quite proud. And, you know, everybody were telling me it was fabulous, Dave. You know, for once they showed the town in a nice, you know, of course they wanted to know all this social history stuff about the town, you know, because we being that old and decrepit, you know, I'd lived through it all, you know, all this social change, you know, yeah. So yeah, but and it does seem strange, you know, when I go in places like Morrison's, you know, the girl on the, I know thee, I've seen thee, you know, it's funny, quite funny, you know, but I do, as I say, I'm just part of the fabric of the town. I am, you know, I don't try to be something I'm not, you know.
We're a town full of characters.
Oh, yeah. I think it's wonderful that, you know, and, you know, let's get a good laugh with them, a good...
Well, finally, it's been so fantastic getting to hear all about the history. And you have had some amazing times to look back on, but I think what we all want to know is what is next? What can the future hold for you that you haven't already done? Is there one thing left that you would love to do?
Well,
is there anything left that you haven't done that you would love to do?
I'd like to score a film, music. You know, I think I'd love to do that. Music. When I wrote the club trip, I wrote about 42 bits of music, you know, to interlace. And I'd love to do a feature film. I would. Whether it be, I don't know, something like, for talking shit, Inspector Morse or one of these Line of Duty or Game of Thrones, my all-time favourite. I'd love to score a bit of music. And I think I could. You know, once I see the action, I mean, I absolutely love these old 1930s films. I do. Robin Hood and The Thief of Baghdad. They're my all-time favourite. I just sit mesmerised. Because the music score is telling the story. And that's what I'd love to do, right? Film music.
If anybody could, I believe it would be you.
I can't read a note of music, I can't. But I would know what to do. You know, and it's only like doing this thing on here, you know, you think, well, I think this might fit or that might fit, you know.
Well, Dave, it has been an absolute pleasure. Thank you so much for answering our questions and for letting us get a bit of a peek at the man behind the name and the face. Thank you.
Wonderful, Nicky, yeah.
The canal is closed. The railway's shut. There's only one way through that damn Stairfoot. I'd like to get me hands upon the fat who fogged up the Stairfoot Rarndabart. I always drop on leaks at Red Dam's Green and must have fused. There's a bus lane down the middle that's never ever used. So I'd love to go and sort that plonker out that dreamt up that Stairfoot Rarndabart. I once set off to see me Uncle Ronnie.